Thank you very much, Dr. Alexandra, for her interesting sharing in the keynote speech. Next, we would like to invite Prof. K.R. Chari, professor from BINTech, Greater Noida, to present his paper on waste utilization and recycling, a way to sustainability. Prof.
Good afternoon to everyone here. And one little correction, sir. You said I'll present my paper, but I don't have a paper. Okay, that is the first thing. Whatever I'm going to share with you is the works that I do in this area. And through some videos or through some PowerPoints, I'll try to explain or share with you whatever I'm doing. Just hold it. See, after completing my engineering in 1971, I've been working for now 47 years. Had a beautiful opportunity to work with industries, right this side, spreading from Japan on the east to US on the west to Brazil. Had opportunities. Most of work was in India. And with so many industries going on within India, from Kanyakumari to Srinagar and perhaps from Kutch to Digboi, so many types of languages, so many things. And one thing that I realized after all these years and all these interactions was, friends, that any management in the institute understands only one single language, one single. And that is the language of money. Unless what I'm talking about I can convert into in terms of money, nobody understands. I might say good things about environment, greenery, future and everything. I say, hell with it, just dump it. But the moment I can show the money in what they are doing, I say, hey, come on, I want to do that. And that's going to be my theme. And sitting since morning, I could pick up two things. One from Dr. Mitra when he said he was talking about comb, and one was from Dr. Acharya in the morning who talked about the mother nature, future of our generations and all that, friends. Way back it was in 1973 when one of my seniors was talking to me and we were brooding over. It was learning for me. He said, Mr. Chari, do you know the rate at which we are extracting coal from Mother Earth or petroleum from Mother Earth, someday it's going to be over. What will happen to our generations, future generations? It was a long story, cutting short. They said that just remember that we haven't got it inherited from our grandfathers, but we have borrowed it from our future generations. And borrowing always means you pay with interest. So whatever Mother Nature has given you today, you better try to add something to it and give it back to the society than go on consuming it. Now, centering around that, I've been hearing different things. I started hearing about green economy sometime in the 80s and 90s. Then sometime in the early part of the 21st century, I happened to read a book on blue economy they talked about. And very recently, I have started hearing about the circular economies, everything. It talks about everything hovering around, perhaps putting back the so-called waste back into the economic cycle. Okay. And now I'll take you back to some of my observations. It was till the year late 80s. The rice mills in India used to produce, they mill rice, so you get the rice separate and the rice husk separate, and nobody on earth in India knew what to do with that bulky rice husk. At one of our teams in 88, to be very precise, we started working on gasifiers, started demonstrating it as a fuel source, and the demand started increasing, and come the year 2000, earlier they were paying money to me to lift it. And by the year 2000, they started asking me money to get it. And as of today, rice husk is being sold at almost 4,000 rupees a ton in and around my area, that is Delhi area. Because they found a use for it. When they started finding use as a fuel, my attention went back to the ash that was being generated. I said, so much bulk. I estimated about 5.5 million tons of rice husk ash is generated across the country. So I was curious. I took a sample, gave it to one of my friends. I said, hey, can you get it tested for me? He said, what do you want? I said, it's ash. He said, ash? My lab is not for ash, dirt. I said, but please tell me what is in it. He said, what will be there in ash? Ash is ash. I said, chemical, please. So this guy says, okay, this is the last time I'm doing it for you, Chari. No more. He took it, and very next day I get a call from him. You know, Chari, aur milega kya? I was wondering, yesterday he was cursing me and making all those faces. Now suddenly, how does he ask me, aur milega kya? What does it mean? When do you ask that? Can I get more? There must be something good in that. And that was first time I realized, friends, he said it's a beautiful source of amorphous reactive silica, 92%. And I said 92% of anything is good for me. Whether it is your CAT scores, your full marks, or even is a street side, roadside fighter who is 92% pakka. He is good for me. He is strong in that. Started working on that, and that curiosity took me to another level where I could produce up to 96% purity silica from that. This I sent to one of the R&D centers dealing with the solar area chips. And they said, Mr. Chari, it's 96%. If you can give me 99.99, we can make silicon chips with that, from ash, mind it. Now, there's the value addition we could do, instead of treating it as a waste. Now, like that, many things, but I would just take you the cycle, the stages through which you have to go through the turmoil to see that something successfully is done. So, I'm talking about a foundry cluster near my town, Delhi, about 90 kilometers off. They are very famous for the shaft cutting machines. Place is called Samalkha. Go ahead, next. Go ahead. Okay, I'll do that. Various components are made from melting the waste scrap iron that we sell from our homes or from the industry, used parts. But the real problem comes after this. They have extracted everything they could extract, and what you get is this stuff coming out of the cupola furnaces. Tons and tons and tons of this muck daily, and they have been paying money to throw it, get it disposed of. And all the guys were doing is pick it up, wherever you find empty space, just dump it. Again, my curiosity started. What is in it? Let me try. Now that is how it is spread. It used to be spread now, okay, across the landfill. Or that is where my work starts. The first opportunity is try to find out whether you can pulverize it, powder it, do something. And these were the first blocks that I could make with using that waste. And I gave it back to the people. I said, hey, this is what it is coming out of your waste. They don't believe. Is it same waste? I said, of course. First question, Chari, can bigger blocks be made? I said, yes, why not? If you give me more material, I'll make bigger. Fine. They said, bricks, beautiful. You can. Will they be strong enough? I said, get them tested. And when you go to Sriram Laboratories kind of people, they charge you 4,000 rupees per brick testing. And I needed a sample of at least 25, meaning a lakh of rupees. Neither they have nor I have. As what, using all the engineering knowledge, I remembered that up to third year I was in learning civil engineering also. I tested compression test, tested it. They turned out to be 40% stronger than the normal standard red bricks. Now just imagine 40% stronger material available with a waste. Curiosity. Then the next stage was, if by hand I can get 40%, if I could compress it, so you go back to a machine, test it out, and you could produce these pavement blocks. Now this was all done in sometime in 2010 and early 2011. Now the next stage comes. Those compressed blocks turned out to be 250 times stronger in compression test compared to the normal brick. So will they be economical? Can we sell it? I said, do a detailed project report, techno-economic feasibility. And the guys who are doing this techno-economic feasibility, they charge them 10 lakh rupees for the report, for feasibility report. So I said, I think I can do that. At the end of it turned out, All you need is about half an acre of land, 1 lakh rupees, 1,60,000 rupees investment, 5 people to work, and you can, and one of these guys came forward. He said, that is the kind of investment. I am putting up a plant. I will have collaboration with all the 30 units. I'll pick up their waste every day evening, convert them into a useful product, and make it. Can you click on that pavement bricks in Samalka? On that, because I can't click from here. First. Yeah, किसी से कर लो.
Waste utilization is a case in point. Foundries in Samalkha generate around 6,000 tons of slag and sand annually. As had been the practice for decades, these wastes were dumped all over the small town. Not anymore. Today, all slag is deposited at this tile manufacturing unit. A specially designed machine crushes all this waste. A magnetic separator recovers all the iron from the crushed slag. The iron is sold back to the foundries. The residual slag is then mixed with other ingredients and converted into pavement tiles.
एसोसिएशन को पता नहीं था कि ये जो टाइल्स बन रहे हैं इनकी क्या स्ट्रेंथ है। हमने पानीपत में एक लैब ढूंढा और वहां पे हमने इनका टेस्ट कराया, जिसके नतीजे काफी बेहतर आए और लगातार एसोसिएशन और यूनिट मिलकर ये काम आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं।
For the tile manufacturer, this has been a profitable venture, and the foundry owners have gained too.
पहले जो जितना स्लैग निकलता था हम इसको उठवाने के लिए पैसे देते थे, लेकिन अब ऐसा है जो ब्रिक्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग वाले हैं वो खुद इसको उठा के ले जाते हैं और हमें इसका कोई पे नहीं करना पड़ता, और जो लोहा निकलता है वो दोबारा रिसाइकल होके हमारे पास आ जाता है।
Clearly, nothing is wasted, and everybody wins. Waste
Now, similarly, taking a clue from there, you know, we have a lot of stone slab industry, a lot of dust is generated during cutting. Primary among them, like place like Rajasthan, where marble blocks are made, marble slabs. An estimated about 5 million tons of marble dust comes out. And how I look at it is, it's after all marble, only thing in a powdery form. Now, what do I do with a powdered marble? That is up to me. My imagination, my visualization, perhaps my creativity. You have to start thinking. But you can give shape, so things have been done too. I'll go very quickly. Now, in the slab industry, the industry is just in about 2 acres of land, but nearby 10 to 15 acres of land looks like this. Because they just dump the dust outside, slurry. So a little bit of curiosity, you try with different combinations, find out what is the chemistry of that, develop, and it turns out to beautiful heat insulation blocks which can be used by the industries which use furnaces so that their heat radiation losses can be reduced. So thermal efficiency goes up, fuel efficiency goes up, they save some money. And the moment they hear saving money, okay, Mr. Chari, please give us that. Till that time they are not touching the dust. Now this is a common feature near any rice husk using factory. At the moment that first experiment I was telling about told me that it is fine amorphous reactive silica, I knew that it is sand. Beautiful, finer than cement. And if I can get sand as fine as that, the first thing came to my mind is cracks filling. And I started doing that, lot of demonstrations. It can be used straight as a plastic material without natural sand. And natural sand has become a scarce resource now. It's a natural resource, and conservation of natural resources are there. If I can start putting this into practice, I'm talking about replacing about 5.5 million tons of natural sand annually in India alone. This was the 96% purity ash it is from rice husk. Okay, amorphous reactive silica. Now some of you who have chemistry background, you might start wondering what all you can do with this material. Looks like boiled rice, okay, basmati. Well, of course, I'll skip this part. It's a long story. The coffee, typical, I'm from South India, we make decoction coffee. Normally throw the flour, but it is one of the most beautiful fuels with less than 2%. Okay. So instead of the chair giving me notice, now you are giving me notice. Okay, fine. Okay, no, I'll just close. I'll close. This all the labels, you know, the water bottles that you are using, the labels on that material can be converted to slabs like this. Road construction material. This all Tetra packs that we use, milk packs and fruities. You can make corrugated sheets out of that. These are all the plastic bottles and the colorful lids. Convert them into blocks on a simple plywood making machine. And finally, gentlemen, let us see, I'll close waste. It's like ignorance of the usefulness of that material we have to look into. It's a misplaced resource. And finally, ये बीच वाले पे कर दो. एक minute. Finally, when I say that, instead of first generating any waste and then bothering about how to do that, what to do with that, my concept has been, don't generate waste in the first place if possible. And that can come only through design. And this is last 1.5 minutes of a clip. And example. And that is me in 1991.
The primary and secondary functions can be very easily explained and well understood by considering very small, simple and day-to-day products. For example, if we take up a product like the toothbrush, all of us use it, isn't it? But how many of us have realized that it is the bristles of this toothbrush which perform the primary function of cleaning the teeth, and the handle of the toothbrush performs only the secondary function of ease of operation of the bristles. But on a detailed analysis, it will be seen that the handle alone costs me anywhere between 50 to 60% of the total cost of the toothbrush. All the value analysis efforts should be concentrated on trying to redesign the handle. Some of the options that are possible for us might be an alternative like this. When the bristles have outlived their life, all I have to do is take out the bristles, throw them off, while still retaining 50 to 60% of the cost of the toothbrush with us, take up a new set of bristles, engage them, start using it again. Or alternatively, how about a design like this? I have a handle with me, separate from the bristles, use the bristles to the extent of their life, throw the bristle alone at the end of the life, pick up a new bristles and again start brushing back. Or as a third option, maybe, how about this? Maybe you can use it like this, much more convenient, much more flexible. Would you like it? The same analysis can be extended to any range of products, be it in any industry. If we want to see.
Thank you very much, Prof. Chari, for this insightful sharing and examples. Okay, I would like to invite Prof. J.K. Mitra to share some views on this.
I think we should all congratulate him to alert us that the first thing that we need to do is to remain observant in what ways we can make alternate use and all that. And very fine real-life example from his own research. But a caveat here. One of the major snacks manufacturing company of India, one of the biggest brands, made a very innovative use of the stone dust. They mixed these stone dusts with their bhujia, and to make it very crispy, so they actually make thousands of metric tons of this. And currently, the leading manufacturer of this snacks, the export is banned in the entire North America and Europe as a result of it. So innovative use does not necessarily mean that it is going to be, it has to be ethical use as well. That is something that we need to impress on, that be creative, but don't be so creative to actually harm the human beings and the planet. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Mitra, for that sharing. Now I'd like to invite the paper presentation on decision making for outsourcing using AHP, a case analysis of anesthesia services in Indian healthcare by Debra Mishra and Dr. D.K. Mahalik.